get straight on with the next speaker, who I'm very excited about. Okay, he's a man of many titles. A doctor, a YouTuber, a podcaster. But today, he's going to tell you how to spend your time showing how you can be more productive in your life.
Everyone needs a bit of that.
Absolutely. So, give it up, everybody, for the most productive man on YouTube, Ali Abdall!
Hello everyone, how's it going? Can you hear me? Fantastic. All right. It is wonderful to be here. This is very exciting. Can I just get a show of hands? Hands up if you are a creator, if you have already started creating something on the internet in some capacity. Good. Basically everyone. Okay. Hands up if you want to be a creator but you've not yet started doing the thing, but you're here to give you that little push to kind of finally get started. Quite a few of us. Okay, fantastic. Can I have a show of hands? Hands up if you have more than 100 followers across, followers, subscribers, whatever. I'm just trying to get a feel for experience level. Okay, keep your hands if you have more than 1,000. Cool. More than 10,000. More than 100,000. More than 1 million. 10 million. Okay, cool. So we have a wide range of spreads across the people here. Essentially what I wanted to do was give you my 3-part framework for growing on YouTube, but I think this actually applies to other creator platforms as well. And essentially it is 3 levels. And this is the stuff that I've been teaching to students in my part-time YouTuber Academy. It's stuff that I teach on YouTube that seems to really resonate with people. And it's stuff that I've kind of, a 3-level framework that I figured out after analyzing hundreds of content creators to try and be a little bit more smart about the way I'm doing my own YouTube channel. And that framework is as follows. It's basically, level 1 is get going, level 2 is get good, and level 3 is get smart. I wonder if, oh crap, these are actually the wrong slides. But that's okay. Can we swap these to the 86-page PDF rather than the 246-page PowerPoint? And I will continue, while that's happening behind the scenes, fingers crossed. Level 1 is get going. This is generally when people are at somewhere, when they've not yet started being creators. So we have quite a few in the audience. And I would probably say get going is when you have less than 100 subscribers on YouTube. Maybe you've made a few videos here and there, but you haven't yet decided to take this seriously. Essentially, the thing we want to be doing at level 1 is we just want to get going. We want to get out of our own way. There have been a load of creators here doing vlogs and stuff, and I've had loads of people come up to me and be like, hey, what's your one tip for getting started? What's your one tip for new creators? And the thing I always say is, just get started. It's not that hard. You can literally take a phone out, film, upload it to YouTube or whatever platform without any editing at all. Because at the start, the point is to just get out of your own way. There are so many people I know who have started YouTube channels, who spent months, if not years, procrastinating from it because they were really concerned about that first video, that first piece of content, really concerned about perfectionism, trying to make it good from day 1. But that's really not the vibe. When you are just getting started, the point is to just start putting content out there, and then you'll see what happens, and then you'll learn over time. Now, after level 1, there is a choice. And that is the first choice we come to as a creator if we want to treat things in a smart way. And that first choice is, do I want a casual relationship with my creative hustle, with my YouTube channel, with my whatever? Or do I want this to be a serious relationship? And I would define a casual relationship as, hey, I'm doing this for fun. We're going to see each other every now and then when I've got the time, but it's not going to be a priority in my life. And if you have a casual relationship with your YouTube channel or your creative hustle, then that's totally fine. That's a completely reasonable way of going about it. But we probably do need to reset our expectations because you can't expect a creative hustle, a business, a relationship to grow without a serious level of commitment involved. So, I'd love to have a show of hands. How many of us are here because we have a casual relationship with our creative thing? The other option is a serious relationship. Okay, show of hands. Hands up if you want to be serious about the thing that you're doing. about the YouTube channel, the Instagram page, the TikTok account. Okay, great. We have lots of people here in serious relationships with the thing. So that's the first choice. Do I want to go casual? Do I want to stay casual, or do I want to go serious? And I think as soon as you make that choice of deciding to be in a serious relationship with your craft, at that point, we can move on to level 2. And level 2 is get good. Now the point in level 2 is to actually get good at doing the thing. Unless, you know, if we use YouTubers, for example, unless you have a background in video production, unless you are Peter McKinnon, 10 years experience in like filmmaking, Andre Jick, personal finance channel, 10 years experience as a videographer, Matt Diavella, you know, Netflix documentary filmmaker, these guys were already good before they started on YouTube. Therefore, they could hit the ground running, they could crush it from day one, and they could continue crushing it for the next few years. But even then, they've been doing it for several years, all of these huge creators with millions of subscribers. But for the rest of us who didn't maybe have a career speaking to a camera, didn't have a career in public speaking, didn't have a career in like video editing or video production or cameras or graphic design or anything like that, we have to learn all of these skills completely from scratch. And if we're in a serious relationship with our creative craft, if we really want to take our YouTube channels seriously, I'm not concerned about numbers. You know, when I first started my YouTube channel, I decided for myself that I was not going to set any goals that were outside of my control. I don't like goals that are outside of my control. Goals outside of my control involve something like, I want to hit 1,000 views. I want to hit 10,000 hours of watch time. I want to hit like 100,000 subscribers. All of these things are things that I can't control. The thing that I can control is the input. What I can control is, I'm just going to make one video every week for the next 2 years, and I will try my best to improve slowly over time. That's a goal that's within my control. And so that was the goal that I set for myself when I started my YouTube channel in 2017, and it took 52 videos to get to the first 1,000 subscribers. Now, while we're here, I'm just going to blitz through this kind of stuff. Essentially, you need a bunch of different skills as a YouTuber, as a creator, and, you know, no one really teaches us this stuff. There are entire university degrees focused on just one of these things, but we have to do basically all of these things as YouTubers. You know, there's this video by NKBHD, which you might have come across. He's one of the biggest tech YouTubers in the world, 15 million subscribers. This was his 100th video. You can still find it on YouTube. And he says, hey guys, so I've just hit, I've been making videos on YouTube. I want to say thank you to my first 76 subscribers. Yeah, 100 videos in, 76 subscribers. Oh my God, thank you so much, you guys, for like watching the channel. Like, it's so inspiring. Anytime I feel a dip in motivation about YouTube, I watch this NKBHD video because it shows that this stuff takes time. So, we're assuming we're in a serious relationship with YouTube. We're talking about getting good. I want to show these slides. How many videos do you need to make? This is data from TubeBuddy, which is a YouTube platform. They've got millions of data points, millions of channels, and they've analyzed how many videos you need to make to get a certain subscriber count. So, have a think. How many videos do you think the average channel with 1 million subscribers on YouTube has? Just have a think. Maybe talk amongst yourself. Oh, fantastic, yeah. The answer is 3,873. How many videos do you think the average channel between 100,000 and 1 million subscribers has? Close. It is 1,171. For 10K to 100K, it's 418 videos. And for 1K to 10K, it's 152 videos. Again, I have lost count of the number of people who come to me and said, you know, Ollie, help me with my YouTube channel, it's just not growing. And I look at it and it's like, you've made 6 videos, bro. Come on. Like, what the hell is going on here? For me, it took 52 videos to get to 1,000 subscribers. This is what I did when I was a final year medical student. I was at Cambridge University and I was making 2 videos a week. I decided I'm going to screw my exams because I thought like, you know what, I can probably pass my exams, but like I'm not going to do very well. And so let me just focus on the YouTube thing. And that turned out reasonably well. So 52 videos, 1,000 subscribers. And that is like 3 times faster than the average. Again, people come to me like, oh, you know, I've made 30 videos and I'm on like 1.2K. My channel's not growing. And I'm like, dude, you're growing faster than I was, and I'm currently on like 2.8 million subscribers. So like, you're doing all right, just keep on freaking going. It took 92 videos to get to 10K, 143 to 100,000, and then I think we hit the million mark on 288, and now we're on like 420 videos on the channel. We just hit 2.8 million subscribers, etc., etc. And over time, this is a thing that has grown over the last 5 years, where in the first year, I just did YouTube for a whole year, nothing else. I didn't try and put all the other things on all the other platforms. Then in year 2, started a newsletter and took the website seriously. Then in year 3, actually started posting on Instagram and started a podcast. In year 4, started Twitter, started making classes on Skillshare, potentially maybe even making classes on Nas Academy at some point. I started posting seriously on LinkedIn, and in year 5, slowly expanded over time. The point is, this is a long-term thing that takes a large amount of time to get going. And there's a little puzzle that I like to show students. So, Warren Buffett starts investing age 10. By age 30, his net worth is about $1 million, which is still pretty good, and he's still investing aged 90. And he gets 22% annual returns. That's amazing, by the way. 22% annual returns is like world-class investor levels of returns. And his current net worth is about $85 billion. Now let's take a more normal person. That normal person might start investing age 30 because they made a bit of money. They might start with a net worth of maybe $25,000 by age 30. They quit investing age 60, and they still have 22% annual returns, so they are still just as good an investor as Warren Buffett. They've just been doing it for less time. Have a guess. What do you think their net worth is, based on the maths of this working out? They're as good an investor as Warren Buffett. They're still getting 22% annual returns. They're just doing it on a more normal time horizon. The answer is 11.9 million, which is like 99.9% less than 85 billion. So, 99.9% of Warren Buffett's net worth is because he started early and because he just kept on going. He just kept on doing the thing. There is a fantastic book by Morgan Housel called The Psychology of Money, where he dives into Warren Buffett's success. And he says that hundreds of books have been written about Warren Buffett's investing success, but none of them are entitled, "This guy started young and he just kept on going," which is what it took Warren Buffett to become so rich. You know, this is something that Einstein famously allegedly said. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. And the issue with being YouTubers, with being creators, is that it takes a while for things to grow. The sort of people that you see speaking at these conferences are the ones who have already made it big. But you don't see the 5 years, the 10 years where they were like hustling and trying to make one video here and there and trying to improve their craft to get there. All you see is their videos that are now putting in millions of views. And it's very kind of demoralizing if you compare yourself against that ideal. But you've got to recognize this stuff takes time. So how do we do it? Basically, it just takes a large amount of videos and 1% improvements over time. So when we're in level 2, again, coming back to the method, level 2, get good, what I would recommend, just make loads of videos and just try and make each one a little bit better. And then, you know you've graduated from level 2 when you have an internal quality, like internally you know your videos are good. And the test for that is I don't cringe when I watch my own videos. If you are still cringing when you're watching your own videos, the videos need to improve, that's fine, they will improve over time. And the external test of whether your videos are good is, are they resonating with other people? Are you getting some amount of click-through rate? Are you getting some amount of views, some amount of watch time, some amount of comments, some amount of likes, some amount of subscribers? People being like, oh, this is actually good stuff. And until we've gotten to that point, we do not yet know how to make good content. So we want to be spending all our time focusing on how to make good content. Nas Academy has some amazing classes from amazing creators of how to make good content. We are in learning mode, we're in level 2. But then, we have choice number 2. And I only have 1 minute left, so I'm going to blitz through this. Choice number 2 is, are you trying to treat this like a business, or are you trying to treat this like a hobby? And honestly, I think this is where creators get it wrong, because they're not honest with themselves, we're not honest with ourselves. Do I actually want this thing to be a business, or do I want to continue having it as a hobby? What's the difference between a business and a hobby? Well, a business is something where fundamentally you want to make money, and fundamentally you want to serve other people. A hobby is generally something where fundamentally you want to have fun, and you want to create the content that you personally are passionate about. So, when you've made that choice of is it a business or is it a hobby, and you know it's a spectrum, you can decide where you lie on the spectrum. Level 3 is about getting smart. And getting smart involves learning from the world of business and applying those insights to your life as a creator. So, figuring out your workflow, figuring out like the business strategy. Who is your target market? What is your value proposition? Who are your competitors in the space? What can you do to stand out? What is your own authentic voice? It's about systemization. How can you build systems in place that help you grow the business while it taking up less of your own time? I'm just going to blitz through this kind of stuff, and I want to give you a book recommendation. This book changed my life in 2019 when I read it. It's called The E-Myth Revisited, and he says, basically, how can I create a business whose results are systems dependent rather than people dependent? I will leave you with this book recommendation. I'm around all day if you have any questions. Thank you so much, and all the best with your creative journey.